Entry-level hiring at the Big Four and Big Tech has collapsed by up to 40% since ChatGPT launched. Youth unemployment for college grads in the US, UK, and South Korea just hit levels we haven't seen since 2008. The four-year degree isn't a ticket to the middle class anymore. It's a financial trap. And the data I'm about to show you proves it. Let's start with the body count. In November 2022, ChatGPT launched. Within 18 months, entry-level postings for software engineers, paralegals, junior analysts, and consultants fell off a cliff. Look at youth unemployment from 2005 to 2023. The UK is climbing back toward 12%. South Korea, the country that sends 70% of its kids to college, is seeing youth joblessness spike, while the overall economy is fine. The US number looks tame until you remember it excludes the millions of grads working at Starbucks. This isn't a recession. GDP is growing. Hiring of experienced workers is steady. The thing that broke is the bottom rung of the ladder, the exact rung AI eats first. Junior coders, junior copywriters, junior researchers. The roles that used to be training wheels for a career are the roles a 20-month subscription now does in seconds. The class of 2023 didn't graduate into a job market. They graduated into an extinction event. Now, the counter-argument I hear constantly, a degree still pays. The wage premium is real. Just get the credential. Wrong. Watch what happens when you cross two charts. Tertiary enrollment in advanced economies has exploded. South Korea is at 98%, the US near 88%, the UK and Australia close behind. We flooded the zone with degree holders. At the same time, unemployment among workers with advanced education, the people degrees were supposed to protect, is climbing in every single one of these countries since 2022. In Korea, educated unemployment is now higher than the general rate. Read that again. The degree is now a negative signal in some sectors. Why? Because when you train 90% of your generation to do knowledge work, and AI eats knowledge work, you've manufactured the most overqualified labor surplus in human history. The wage premium economists love to cite, it's a lagging average dragged up by 55-year-old senior managers. For grads under 27, it's already collapsed. Here's where it gets dystopian. Tertiary enrollment in the US, UK, Australia, and Korea has more than doubled since 2005. We told an entire generation, take on debt, get the credential, the knowledge economy will reward you. The US alone holds $1.77 trillion in student debt. The UK average graduate now owes $45,000. And for what? To compete for a shrinking pile of entry-level seats that AI is actively deleting. Germany, notice this, kept enrollment lower and invested in apprenticeships and skilled trades. Their youth unemployment is the lowest in the G7. The countries that bet hardest on the everyone goes to college model are the ones whose young workers are now drowning. This isn't a failure of students, it's a policy failure 20 years in the making, and AI just lit the fuse. Now, the most damning chart in this video, GDP per capita growth versus youth unemployment. Every economy I'm showing you is still growing. The US grew 1.9% per capita in 2023. Korea grew. The UK eked out gains. Productivity is up. Corporate profits hit record highs. AI is making companies more efficient. That's the whole point. But the growth isn't flowing to young workers. It's flowing to capital, to shareholders, to the senior employees whose jobs AI augments instead of replaces. This is what economists call the Great Decoupling, and it used to be theoretical. Now it's measurable. The economy is winning. Graduates are losing. Same chart, same years, opposite directions. If your degree was supposed to be a claim on future prosperity, the prosperity arrived and walked right past you. So what do you do when there are no entry-level jobs? You invent one. Self-employment among young grads has surged across every country on this chart since 2022, but don't romanticize it. This isn't a generation of founders building the next Stripe. It's Uber drivers with philosophy degrees, freelancers on Upwork bidding against AI itself, Substack writers earning less than minimum wage. In the UK, gig work among under 30s grew double digits in 2 years. In Korea, delivery rider became the fastest-growing job category for college grads. This is the new college grad underclass, the most educated working poor in modern history. A generation with master's degrees driving for DoorDash. The official unemployment numbers hide them because, technically, they're employed, pulling shifts, hustling, surviving. But the career they were promised? It got automated before they could even apply. One last comparison. Stack the 4 knowledge economy bets, the US, UK, Korea, and Australia, against Germany and Japan, which never abandoned their industrial base. The countries that pushed every kid into college and pushed manufacturing offshore are the ones whose young workers are now falling behind their blue-collar peers for the first time in 50 years. An electrician in Texas out-earns a junior marketing analyst. A welder in Seoul out-earns a Samsung intern. A plumber in London earns more than half the people graduating Russell Group universities. The premium has fully inverted at the entry level. The knowledge economy was supposed to be the future. AI just made it the past. Here's the verdict. The college degree, as a financial product, is broken. It costs more than it ever has, delivers less than it ever has, and the AI wave is just getting started. The numbers don't lie. Youth unemployment rising, educated unemployment rising, gig work rising, and a knowledge economy that no longer needs new humans to do knowledge work. We built a system that demanded $200,000 and 4 years of your life in exchange for a seat at the table. Then we removed the table. The generation that did everything right, got the grades, took the loans, earned the credential, is now the most educated working poor in modern history. Pretending this is a temporary blip is the most expensive lie we can tell them. If you want the data instead of the vibes, the charts, the sources, the comparisons no one else is running, subscribe. We do one data-driven investigation a week. No opinions, no outrage bait. Just the numbers and what they actually prove. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.